Welcome to the intersection where life and art collide. I'm your host, the punk rock pop, Leigh Pierce. And on today's show, we are joined by FMA and 12 Gage, Matthew and Callum. You guys introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
Hi, I'm Callum.
All right, you want to tell us a little bit about your band, your music project that you guys have together?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought that was really funny. We are FMA plus 12 Gage. We're a father and son rap duo, and we started working together about 13 years ago. And since that time, we say rap duo, but we make all sorts of music. We make everything. We do metal, we do electronic, we do dance, we do hip hop. Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Well, and Matthew, how long have you been doing music then?
I've been doing music since I was 13 years old. That's when I started wanting to be in a band, and I started learning to play guitar and things. And I used to sing, well, not sing, like scream and play guitar. But I found that having two jobs to do really, it was not beneficial to either job because there were two rhythms to do. And I found that screaming is very cathartic and things, and so that's what I focused on. When I was the age of 24, I joined a hardcore metal band called For My Anger, and it just went on there. But I gave up on music when I was about 31, and then I've never done music since.
And Callum, how long have you been?
Never done it once before.
No, it's just writing. We're just writing. It's writing disguised as music. That's what we do.
Well, and honestly, that's the best music, though, that comes from someplace that other than just, sitting down to write a song. That's some of my favorite stuff, honestly, is like going back and listening to some like the old like beat poetry and stuff like that. Stuff that was meant to be read. And then getting to hear somebody else read. Not like a book on tape bullshit they have now.
Yeah.
But you get more feeling with that. And I think that's with what you guys do is incredible. Because it's as much about the delivery and because you're the one that wrote these words, whatever they were initially intended for, whether it was a book or a song or a movie. And now you're getting to perform it in a new way where it could still be read or it could be watched. And that's really cool because I love having all my art in one place instead of having to go, I read every day, I watch movies every day, I listen to music every day, and it's fun when it's all kind of combined into one thing like the project you guys are working on.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so how I got into music, which is what you were trying to ask, wasn't it, Leigh?
Your turn.
Yeah, mine. So I saw For My Anger, that hardcore band, play when I was like 5 or 6. And instantly I was like, oh, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like my dad screaming on stage, and I'm like, I want to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I wanted to do that. And that led on all throughout, up until I was like an early teenager, being like, oh, I want to play guitar. Didn't have the attention span. Oh, I want to be a DJ. Couldn't figure it out. Oh, I want to do this. Couldn't do it. And then I heard Eminem one day. I think my dad played it in the car or something. And I heard it, and then I watched 8 Mile with my mum because I was really into Eminem. And you know that scene when he's at the back of the bus writing? Like, my mum got me a tiny little notepad because she was like, oh, right, why don't you try doing some? And I don't know why, I took it to school one day and I was on the bus back and I was wearing a hat, and in the back of my head I was like, oh my God, you look exactly like Eminem right now. So I was sat at the back of his bus with this tiny little notepad and I was writing stuff that didn't make any sense. And that kind of triggered a feeling in my head where I was like, oh, I really like doing this. This feels good. And then I came to live with my dad, and because I held my dad on such a high pedestal musically, I don't anymore, he's annoying, but back then I held him on such a high pedestal that it was like living with Eminem or living with like an idol or something. So I was like, every single day I was walking into the front room while he was trying to do uni work or something else, and I was like, oh, Dad, I've written this, Dad, I've done this, Dad, I've done this. And that all led to my mum suggesting that we did a gig together for my confidence, because I had a really bad stutter and just a ton of like self-image and confidence issues. And because my dad is my dad, it wasn't just let's go up there and do 2 songs. It wasn't let's go up there and do this really like simple song. We wrote an entire set together and practiced it and practiced it and practiced it. And then that gig went better than either of us could have imagined it. So it all kind of, weirdly, it wasn't like planned at all, any of this. Like FMA and 12 Gauge was not planned as a thing. It was just meant to be like a one-off gig from a teenager and someone who didn't want to make music anymore.
Yeah.
And now we're here 13 years later working on a second album. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it never even occurred to me that it could be one song, Callum. It didn't occur to me that it could have been anything less than a full set.
Like,
it didn't occur to me. It didn't occur.
Mm.
I don't know whether that was my autism or what, but when your mum said do a gig with Callum, I was like, okay, it's a gig.
I think what my mum, I've never asked her, and I should ask her at some point if she can remember, but I don't know if my mum meant like, oh right, yeah, we've got like an open mic thing and you could just plug in an MP3 and do one song together.
Yeah, that's probably what she meant, Callum.
Yeah, and then we turned up with 8 songs.
No, Callum, it was 6, Callum. Stop exaggerating.
It felt like 8.
Yeah, okay. It might have just been 5.
6. God,
yeah.
Stop whining. It was only 6.
Yeah, it is only 6. But in our sets now, there's only 7 songs, and that's like over 30 minutes. It's like that's how long our songs are. These like things that we create are not just tiny little moments. They're like huge journeys that you go on. And like we've taken a lot of inspiration from screenwriting and creative writing, and we try and create like a story. We try and create, even if it's not a literal story, it's still a story, and it will take you to a natural conclusion or a natural end, or it might have some twists and turns on the way. But we try and make it feel complete. Whereas you hear a lot of songs from a lot of people, and they're just songs. You can tell it's a song. There is nothing else to it. And I don't know if we're being big-headed or egoistic or whatever the word is here, but I feel that our songs are different. There's a different feeling to them. There's a different thing. I don't know. It's just different. Do you know what I mean, Callum? And that's why it's so difficult to write songs in this duo, because we've been working on one song now for 6 months, because it's not right, and you can't do it until it's right. And like that's the level that we hold ourselves to. And even if people don't understand what we're doing, or they don't feel what we feel, it has to be this special thing, this special moment, this piece of ourselves that we give and we put into this. Because songs and music are really, really weird, isn't it? Like in a book, you can pick up a book. Like it's like with a film, you can see the film. It's visual. You can point at things. But like with a song, it's just magic. It's like in the air. You can't grab hold of a song. Yeah. So I don't know where the hell I'm going. I'm just turning into a philosophist. I've invented that word. I'm a philosophist. I'm not a philosopher. I'm a philosophist.
Nice.
Yes.
But no, I do agree. I think that it's really weird because it does sound really ego.
Yeah, Callum, you sound so big-headed right now. Why would you say anything like that, you little dick?
I'm just agreeing with you. I feel
agreeing with me? What? I never said anything like that, Callum.
No, I do think it's because like we are family and we do enjoy the same things and we do know each other so well. So it is that thing, like we always say it, where in any other band, I feel like there's always that element of, oh God, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Oh no, like, I want to be precious about this band. And at the end of the day, it's like, no matter really what either of us say to each other, we're going to still be father-son.
Yeah.
There's like, no way of changing that. And also because I've known you since I was born.
Have you? That's how long I've known you too, Callum. That's crazy.
No, nuts, innit?
Yeah.
But like, it does mean that I think we both feel comfortable enough to say, oh, you've not done the best.
Yeah.
Or this whole song needs rewriting, this whole thing.
Yeah, there was another song called The Machine, and that took me 9 months to write. And the reason it took 9 months is because Callum kept saying it's not good enough, it's not good enough. So it's not just one way, it's not just me saying this isn't good enough. Callum also does the same. It's just Callum does it less than me. That's all.
Yeah.
Now, do you think with that, a part of that is, especially as a dad, I see that you're going to hold your son to higher standard than you would if this was just another artist you were working with.
Yeah.
And it is as much of a pride ego for us too, because they are a mirror of us. They are an extension of us, especially when you're working together as a band. Do you think but that also you get, and same thing with Callum holding you to a higher standard too, like, no, Dad, I've seen you do better. This is not your best. Do you think if it was anybody else and you were still able to work together, would you be putting out the quality of music if you weren't father and son?
No, nowhere. Not even close. I've worked like with people in the past, and before my anger was 2 vocalists, where we were doing a very similar style to what me and Callum do. But yeah, no, because you have different views. Like, it's like one person wants it to be more this, one person wants it to be more that. But with me and Callum, we both have that inherent trust that the other one can hear and feel something that we can't, because we know each other so well that it's not like when you work with someone who else, there's always ego that comes into it, and that person might think that, oh, you just want to get your idea across just because it's your idea, and they don't understand that maybe there's something else within this idea, there's another reason that this has been said. And I think being father and son allows us to get past that and realise that it's not ego, because it's both of us. It's literally both of us. It's not just one of us. When this is over, I'm finished with music again. But Callum can continue. But it's right. When you work with other people, there's so much ego, there's so much work. Actually, I lie. Well, I have worked with a few people where that's not happened. But a lot of the time, it's like, yeah. But with those people that I was just mentioning, I haven't argued, so I don't know what that would be like. But yeah, I think ego gets in it a lot, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just creativity is about yourself, isn't it? It's about putting parts of yourself into the world. And if someone criticizes that or has an issue with the part of yourself that you've put into the world, it hurts on a different level.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think from my perspective, it's similar. It's very sort of, I trust. I think for a very long time, because I was a teenager, like throughout what's kind of nuts, because I've been thinking about the podcast, Leigh, and like how long we've actually been doing this, is through my entire mid to late teens and early 20s, I was in FMA plus 12 Gage. Like, that whole growing period of time was spent working with him. And I think there were definitely bits in there where I think because I was a teenager more than anything, it was like, I don't agree with you. And, you know, he would always say he was the director of FMA plus 12 Gage, like he is the director of it. But that's more on a song structure. If it sounds right, it sounds right. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And for a very long time, because I was a dicky teenager, I was like, no. And I would passionately argue for something. Looking back on it now, if I would have just said, no, you're right, Dad, let's do it your way, we could have probably saved like a month of work. But it's that entire growing, like, period. It's like, now I feel very comfortable. Like, now that I'm like 27, it's like I feel very comfortable being like, oh, I will trust what my dad says, and I will give my feedback, and I will do my best. But when it comes to like song structure, when it comes to all of these things where I know I'm not as good as him, I'm fully capable of just being like, I'm not as good as you. Whereas before, that was a massive, like, kind of ego thing that was in the way. But because it's my dad, he can turn around and just go, no, you're being wrong, you're being a little dick. And I'll be like, yeah. So it's that whole thing of like the trust is like monumentally through the years. It's just grown and grown. And I think it's the most annoying bit, because we work with a couple of like my best friends and my dad's best friends, like, but I've known them since high school and stuff. And I remember one day where one of them was really stressed because it's Dreadnought, the guy who makes all the beats. And he was really stressed because my dad had said that like what he'd made wasn't good. No, what wasn't not good, but it wasn't right. And then I go out for a cigarette with him, and he's like, I'm just really stressed. I don't understand what Matt means. I don't understand. And I just had to turn around to him and be like, but he's right. And the longer you argue it, you will figure out is right eventually. And it's that whole thing. It's like experience. And I've realised that he has so much more experience than I do. So it's just learning that over time and that trust level growing as time has gone on and experiences have happened.
I gotta say, as a father and as a son, and I got a grandson too, and seeing the dynamic between you, it just warms my heart because, like, I know Matthew could probably, agree with this. Like, I know for me and most men, you grow up when you're a kid, your dad's your hero. Whatever it is, you want to do what they do. You want that job. They could be a cashier. That's what you want to be. And then you turn into a teenager and you're a dick and you don't appreciate them as much. And then as you mature, you realize again, they become your hero again. If, it's not that they never weren't, but now you learn because you went through what they've went through. And seeing how Callum never had that part where I love seeing it. The connection you guys have. I love whenever I get a chance to talk with you guys. So getting to do the podcast today just makes my day. I love watching you two. You're so fun. And I wish I could come see you guys live, but maybe eventually, or if I get you guys over here.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, but thank you, Leigh. Like, I think it's very odd for me. Like, tons of people say it to me, but like, it's just my dad. Like, if that makes sense, it's like I've never had another dad. So I've never got any comparison really to give it to. But it's like tons of people say it and it's lovely to hear. But also it's like to me, I'm always like, oh, right. So our relationship is a bit, not weird, but abnormal to usual father-son stuff. And we're also in a band.
Yep.
Well, and I think I see that a lot with people who are neurodivergent too, and families with neurodivergent members. Because both my sons are on the spectrum. My youngest, he's 19, and it's the same thing. It's a different dynamic because you rely on each other in different ways than normal. Now I want to say normal. Fuck that. Neurotypical people would. So you have different needs. You have different things, views, the way you see things and see people, and the connections you make. So especially with family, it's a different connection. It's because that's usually in a neurodivergent household, your family, if they're good and supportive, is your main support. That's the people, no matter what. And as you get older, you realize all of a sudden you'd be like sometimes I feel bad. It's like my son, he doesn't really have any friends. He never wanted any. He just likes being around us. But that's how me and my wife are. The only time I talk to people is on my podcast. Or if I'm talking to clients on the phone and stuff, I don't go out. I don't go do anything. You find that everything you need is here. And watching you guys and seeing that and watching it get to play out on stage because you write what you know. Because, obviously that's all people can do. And you can tell when they try not to. Because, man, that shit comes off fake. So watching you put your own experiences and your life and everything out there, it's awesome to see. It's motivating. It's positive for anyone to get to see, let alone other neurodivergent people and neurodivergent artists. So as a dad with neurodivergent kids, I want to thank you, both of you. It's awesome. You're I hate using the term role models, but honestly, it's really cool. I love having someone to look up to, even at my age. So I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much, Leigh. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's lovely.
God,
all right.
British is like, how do I take this compliment? Oh no.
And that's also another part of raising neurodivergent kids is we always show our emotions because we want to let them know, and I just can't shut them off anymore. I'm old. I got grandkids. Yeah. I'm just a big softy, and I love it. It's what I used to be. I was an angry when I was younger. Of course, sobriety has definitely helped with that. That anger's gone now too. I learned how to deal with that in a much healthier way. But
that's good.
I think everybody goes through something.
Yes, they do.
All right. So as you're talking about the way you write, because you have tell me about your backgrounds as far as, because screenwriting and stuff like that, I know you're both heavily involved in and have a background in.
Yeah, I'll go first again, Colin.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been interested in writing. Like, that was before music as well. I'd be writing like stories and weird little things. But then it kind of got focused on the music. But then, like when my band For My Anger split up, I gave up like music, and I was like, oh, what can I do? And then I just decided to go to uni to do creative writing and screenwriting because I figured that would give. And the intention kind of was to go back to music, but even though I'd given up on music, like the idea behind the screenwriting and creative writing was to get more skills within writing for music. But then, like as I carried on at uni, it was more, oh, I want to be a screenwriter. I just want to do this. This is a really good fun because writing as screenplays is awesome fun because it's not as it's fast, so much faster than writing a book, and it's all about creating moments. It's like you paint the picture, like I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I really loved it, and so I finished university with a first in screenwriting. And yeah, I was in the paper and the news, on the radio and stuff with it. Like, it's just something that I really love. Like even now, while we're working on the album, I'm just like thinking of screenplays and just like cool little things I could make. And it's quite frustrating to be stuck in music when I want to go off and do all these other things at the minute. But yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, a way that you can look at screenwriting is if a film or a short film is like a house, a script is the blueprint for that house. You're like laying out like the bare bones basics of it, and then other departments and other people come in and then they make the thing, but you're kind of like, oh yeah, door should go there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy, Callum. It's like, I've had this idea for this awesome building. Quick, here's a sketch. Build it. That's kind of like what it is.
Yeah, and I got into screenwriting because of my dad. Everything's just because of you, Dad. It's really annoying. So I went to uni because I finished high school, and in England it goes high school, college, uni. And I went to high school, finished high school, immediately went to college for like 4 years, finished that, and then went to uni. So I was like burnt out. And because in my teenage little rebellious mind, I was like, my dad was like, oh yeah, do screenwriting. You love writing stories. You like films. Like, you'd really enjoy it. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go and do journalism, which was the worst idea in my life. It was like essentially what you had to do is like go and interview people on the street, like random people. You had to go to like events and talk to all these people, and as a kind of unsociable teenager, being told to just go to this stuff and talk to random people was like terrifying. And then the tutor said something awful that I distinctly remember in my head, which I wish he never would have said, which was, oh, well, you're an adult now, so you don't really have to be here. So I was like, I don't? Oh! So I just started skipping all the time, like skipping lessons, skipping classes, all of that stuff. Until the point where I got kicked out of that course. And then like a year, something else, like maybe not a year, but a little bit later, I was sat in England. We have something called the job centre, which is where you go when you don't have work and you just want to get a minimum amount of money while you're looking for work. And I turned up one day and they said to me that, oh yeah, we've found you a job. It's working in a factory. You'll be waking up at 5 a.m, walking to the bus station, getting on a bus for an hour, working from 7 till 3 in a factory, just putting stuff on a factory line, catching a bus back, getting back to Preston for like 4:30, and then doing it 5 days a week. And instantly I was like, I'm going back to uni. I don't know how, but I'm going back to uni. I'm not doing that. Leave me alone. So, and then I got on screenwriting, and really luckily for me is all of the tutors knew my dad. So there was like this thing of, even though I'd been kicked out, even though like uni, the upper brass of uni was like, no, he skipped half of his last course, why would we let him back in? all of those tutors could vouch for me because they'd seen the band, they'd seen me work with my dad, they'd met my dad. So I got back into uni because of my dad. And then it's like, it's so weird because how my dad described it as helping music is that was the whole reason I went in. Because I think you described it to me, Dad, as like, oh yeah, it helps your lyric writing and it helps you see structure. And those were things I've struggled with, mainly structure of like songs and, you know, peaks and rises and all that stuff. And then I genuinely, I came out of the course and I was like, oh, I can edit things now. I know when things don't sound right. I know when something's running over too much. And it's a phenomenal course to do. I think if you want to learn how to write, like actually edit writing, I think it's incredible. And I went back and did a master's degree in it. So technically I've got one more degree than my dad.
No, you do, but you don't have a first, Callum, so...
No, but I've got a master's.
You do. But yeah, the thing about screenwriting is it is stories. So you're learning about stories, and stories are the most powerful thing on the planet. With a story, you can do anything. That's how we're controlled through media and stuff and films and all sorts. Everything is a story. History is a story. Your day is a story. Your future is a story that you haven't written yet. And it's like how you present the past to yourself is how you go forward. And that's like a story. And it's really important. And it's a really important skill to have, I think, for anyone. But yeah, if you want to learn about writing, learning how stories works is the best thing. But also songs as well. Like a song is a story. Anything that goes from one point to another point is a story.
And I think personally for me, how it like helped a lot was I never thought I'd be able to write a song on my own, like without my dad. I never thought I'd be able to write like an album without my dad, something, you know, of like a massive substantial amount. And I was kind of terrified of it. And then I went to uni and it's like, oh yeah, you're going to write a feature-length film script, which is 90 pages long. And you're going to write several different stories, all at like 30 to 60 pages. So by the end of it, I was like, yeah, I can write a song. It like proper jogged it where it was like, oh, this is a, you know, insurmountable task to being like, well, I already wrote a film, so I can do that. And I think that's also a massive thing. Like, it gives you as well, like, if you've got really good shooters like me and Dad did, and you've got a really good course, it gives you, like, the confidence in your own writing and your own ability. Even if what you've written isn't great, you know that you wrote 90 pages. And that's an accomplishment in itself. And that's what it also gave for me.
Oh, sorry. So, like you were saying, it's different skill set. I mean, writing is important. Same way. I've been a writer since I was a kid. I was the one, even in like second grade, they'd be like, write a paragraph, and I'd write 8 pages.
Yeah.
It's always been my outlet is writing. And I did freelance journalism for decades. Published books, magazines, all kinds of stuff, screenplays, all kinds of fun stuff. And the more you do it's a cool skill set because you can see how learning one helps you in another area. So with that, with your background in screenplay, which I love screenplays because like Matthew said, it's almost like cheating. Because you're only writing half of it. You can knock out a screenplay in a couple days. To turn that into even a novella is going to take you fucking months. Not counting any rewrite because you get to leave half of it out because it all gets to stay up here. So but you still, though, it's a different skill set. How is, with your screenwriting background, how does that help you write lyrics?
Would you like to go first, Dad?
No, you go first.
Okay. I think a massive thing, like the massive crossover for me, is like editing. And so, like in a novella, it'd be like, she said she looked out of a window, the skyline was so pretty above the city. That rhymed. And you know, lights shone in the distance, all of this stuff, and you describe everything. In a screenplay, it'd be like, she stood up, she looked out of a window. and that would literally be it. You'd maybe
the lights of the city reflected off her face, and then you move forward.
And then you move forward. It'd be like brief, but like really brief description.
Yeah.
And I think it's led me to be like, because I loved rap as a kid, like all elements of hip hop. I'd listened to it forever. And it led to this thing where you'd think of a punchline, or you'd think of the cleverest bar in the world, or that you could think of at the time, and you'd spend like half of a verse or like ages trying to like get that bar across. And when I think about it now in terms of screenwriting, it's like if that was like a screenplay, you'd be spending like 3 pages to explain one thing, whereas you could fit in like 10 really cool things in those 3 pages. So that's how it's like changed the way I look at it, where it's like, is this thing worth it to put into a song if it's going to take up 30 seconds of someone's like listening experience for a sentence or a joke that they might not even get?
Yeah.
And it's that type of thing for me. Also, theme is a really big one, I think. Like, I think songs should mean something, even if the meaning is just to feel happy, or to go and dance, or to go and do this thing, or to brag about this. It's that thing of, like, I remember my tutor talking about theme in films, and it being like, Terminator's about like fatherhood, but you never really see that, because he doesn't, like, at no point in the film it's like they turn to the camera and it's like, this is about fatherhood. It's like, there's none of that, but it's equally like through the subject matter of the film and through all the underlying things you pick up that it's about fatherhood.
Is it really about fatherhood? Have you just made that up, Callum?
No, Terminator's about fatherhood. Aliens
is it really? Yeah, no, I know Aliens is about mothers, but fatherhood.
Yeah,
where have you got that from? Where have you got that from? Have you just made it up?
No, it's from my tutor at uni.
Did he make it up?
Call up Tom.
Oh, is it Tom? Right, okay, I will be in touch with Tom.
Okay. Yeah.
Terminator 1 or 2? 2 is about fatherhood.
2, it was Terminator.
Right, that's not Terminator, Callum.
It's the same name.
It's not the same film.
Well, you should have known which one was about fatherhood.
No, because you said Terminator.
Because you're a father.
Right, okay, Callum. Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's like the theme of, like, putting meaning into things. That, like, things should have meaning that people can pick up on if they want to pick up on it. Like, someone might listen to it and just think it's a cool song, and then someone else can view it in a completely different way. And that was a massive thing for me. Like, rather than just rapping to sound cool, putting meaning into it and having it mean something to me, than it just being like, I'm such a good rapper.
Yeah.
And I think too, with the crossover, the tools that screenwriting gives you is you have to learn to pack a lot of information into small bits. Yeah. So you still want to get, like, you've got that paragraph of thought that explains why the person has this one line. You still have to try to get that out there with as few words as possible. And that definitely helps with lyrics, because it teaches you how to use the fewest words in the most profound way. And that, you see that in your lyrics. Without a doubt. It's so funny to see. Not funny, it's just impressive, the way you guys write, because I always call it the laws of crescendo. A song, you got to build, and you guys start here and it never drops. And lyrically, energy, all of it, and it's just so impressive. And seeing the reason is because of who you are, the fact you're father's son, because of your background and the way you write lyrics, starting from a screenplay background and a musician's background. It's just real. It's like a perfect, like, it could be you could study you two for a paper about how, who people are is why things are created. Like, nobody else could be able to copy what you do. No two people on the planet could sit down and try to study and copy what you do. It's because of your background and who you are and the fact you're father and son. And it's just really cool to see this amazing music and art come together. That's just an amalgamation of who you are. Like it's just Matthew and Callum. It's just really loud.
Yeah, we use, I'll jump off from what Callum said about theme and editing and stuff. We also use a lot of psychology within our psychological tricks within what we've done. So we might write like a first draft of a song, and then we'll be like, right, this song needs to feel ugly. And so we'll go back and start editing and then removing words and replacing them with ugly words and stuff like that. And you don't pick up on it as a listener to start, but like the repeated motifs, these repeated kind of things is stick in your head, because we're also I'm really influenced by Darren Brown, who's a British magician. He's absolutely amazing, is Darren Brown. But some of the tricks that he does, because he uses psychology and misdirection, all sorts of things, and that's kind of what our songs are as well. Yeah. They're just trying to like push you down a path and start thinking this thing without even realizing it. And so when it comes to our gigs, we build the gigs in a screenwriting way as well. It tells a story, and we always start in one place, a place of anger, and always end in a place of happiness. But we keep doing this repeated theme of a journey, and the left and right. So all these words that keep being repeated all the way through the different songs and melodies and little things, and they're really, really tiny, but the audience doesn't realise what's actually happening at the time. But by the end, it creates kind of a sort of euphoria. And like when the anger goes and the happiness begins, people really feel it, and people start to, even if they've not moved for the rest of it, that's when they start to be engaged, because we've kind of pressed them. It's like a horror scene, isn't it, Callum, where you like draw tension and tension and tension and tension, and at the very last moment you let it go. But yeah, we've got so many little tips and tricks and ideas and things that we put into our work. It's just crazy. But yeah, the amount of time we spend writing is just insane. Like, it really, really is. Like, yeah. People don't normally do what we do. No,
it's like what was it? There was one song, I can't remember what it was, but there was like, it was over 10,000 words, was just notes.
No, it wasn't 10,000. Oh, the notes were, the notes were.
Yeah, it was over 10,000 words for the notes. And that's like...
Yeah, like 50 pages trying to come up with a song, like just writing ideas and ideas and trying to find...
I'm pretty sure it was like a 3-minute song, wasn't it? Yeah. It wasn't even like that long of a song.
Yeah, it's just stupid what we do and what we attempt. And it's like you have to keep going, and that's the annoying thing. Like, that's why we're stuck on this song right now. We haven't found it. We're digging and digging and digging and digging, and we just haven't found it yet. And we just need to keep digging until we get it.
And I think it's also that thing, isn't it, where it's like every song we do, we set a bar and a level of like, oh, this is what we can do. So then if we're not hitting that bar on the next song or going past that bar, it's like, well, it doesn't feel right as a song. So that's why one's taken 6 months.
Yeah. But I don't know what else to say. We're idiots.
Yeah.
I always say hard work causes hard work, and when you set that bar of what you can do, it's not even because people understand. Like, I mean, I couldn't even tell you maybe 3 albums that don't have a bad song on them.
Yeah,
so people aren't expected, home runs every single track. They're not expected a #1 hit, but you hold yourself to that. But that's where good art comes from. You're not slacking. It takes longer, but everything good is worth waiting for. Quite frankly, I mean, anything that's going to stick around is worth waiting for too. If it happens easy, it's gone easy as well.
Yeah. I think it's really odd how we approach things compared to like, I don't know, like the music industry right now, where it's very much like screenwriting based and like storytelling and all this stuff. But it's also like, I remember you showing me something about John Cleese, where he said that, in order to create something, your brain's got to be in a state of play and it's got to feel relaxed.
Yeah.
So it's like there are moments where it's like, oh, the song just isn't coming. The song just hasn't happened yet. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world, because it's like, if we could just do it, we'd be one step closer and it would be like, we'd be going. But it's very much that waiting for it. And I think in the state, not in the state, but like with social media and the music industry and everything, it's very much like right now. 2.5 minute song, because that's what, you know, the attention span is right now, and everyone wants stuff. And I think it's like stepping back and being like, no, my brain can't create today, and it means that if we try to create, I'm probably going to write something that's going to be scrapped tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's that weird being able, almost like exercise, where it's like you need to rest, you need to like give it time and stuff. And I just find it so odd when, like, I don't know, I'm scrolling on Instagram or something, and it's like this band has put out a single, and then they're making the next single instantly, and they're doing this and all of this stuff, and it feels very like we're very how would you say it?
We're the antithesis, like anti.
Yeah. Where it's like we work all the time, but sometimes it can be a week of we've written one word. And that's just, to me, like when I try and describe that to people, they're like, so what have you done the rest of the time? Like sat there and played a video game and just slept? And I'm like, no, we sat in front of a laptop for 3 hours and wrote down one word.
Yeah. It's just weird.
Yeah.
That's also your style as well, though. I mean, nowadays, a lot of bands and labels don't put the time into, like, no, the music's great. It's all there. It's cohesive. It belongs on one album. But even they don't, like, whatever, for track listing. They don't have a story or a crescendo they're trying to achieve. And even with releases, they'll just, whatever 2 singles we think will work. There's no build. There's no, not necessarily a concept album, but at least let's have a concept of an album. And you guys go the complete, you're the antithesis of that. Like every step is meticulous and overly planned out, but it's fucking perfect.
Thank you.
You don't get that close to you don't get that close to perfection not putting in the time and putting in the effort, and I mean, you just torture yourself, and I'm sure each other, because that's what fathers and sons do. But that's where this amazing art comes from. So, like, I can't imagine. It's got to just be draining some days, but man, as a fan, let me tell you, it's worth it. And I know I know the rest of your fans do too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think like the major thing for me is that it sounds very weird, but it's like creating for me.
Yeah.
It's like I love that people enjoy it, and I love all of that stuff, but I don't think there's ever been a point where, like, me and my dad, because I was in like college bands, and I really remember my first ever college band. I think the guitarist's girlfriend or something got us our first gig, and it was an hour-long set, and we'd written 2 songs. Well, written is like very loose. We had like the chorus and verses for 2 songs. So the next like month at practice, every single session was like, oh, right, Callum will just like freestyle lyrics or the verses. We need a happy song. We need a sad song. We need a drinking song. We need a heavy song. And it was just hitting, like, because we're all teenagers, it's like, yeah, let's just hit all the beats of like metal and pop punk and all this stuff. And when it came to me and Dad working together, I don't think we've ever sat down and said, we need X.
Yeah.
Like, we need happy song here, or we need this song here, because we don't have one. Like, we've kind of been like, oh yeah, we've not made a song like this, let's try making a song like this. But it's never been, we need it to fit into a set or anything. There's never been some sort of writing for an audience. It's always just been what me and him wanted to make. So the fact that people enjoy it is amazing, I think.
Yeah, it's like they're like moments in time. These are real emotions that we feel, and so like we actually have to like. It's like it's really healthy for us to create these things and then perform them, because we're like reaching into it inside ourselves and just pulling things out and just like putting them onto into music and stuff. And that's where it's more important than anything. And I think a lot of people are doing this for a goal and to look good and to be cool and to get those numbers and to be like, oh yeah, I'm better than you and stuff. And it's like, no, that's not what the whole purpose of this is. That's a side effect. That's like something else that happens as you're doing the thing that is more important than anything. And art is a form of like healing into it. It's like that's how you deal with the things in your head. Your subconscious needs to get those things out, and art is a way of getting those things out of your head, and that's why we do it. It keeps us healthy. And so so all those people who only do it for popularity, I hate them. And I'm not going to revoke that, because I do hate them. I say shit like that on stage, Leigh, and I piss off a lot of people. And,
he does.
And I can feel it building up in me again, because we haven't gigged for so long. And it's like, I might say some stupid stuff when I next get back on stage. But it really makes me angry that people just get up on stage and they're like, we are musicians, we are these artists. And it's like, you're not a fucking artist, you piece of shit. There's no art in what you create. You're up there purely because you think you're cool. And you've like just learned this stuff from other people. You're not on stage, that's not you. That's a different person. That's this caricature of yourself that you've created. And it's like, that makes me really, really angry. And so I spend a lot of time talking to people and they're like, oh, I really love that band. And I have like the instant reaction of like, no, I do not like that band. And it's really hard to explain to people that I don't hear any passion. I don't hear any love. I don't hear any care. I don't hear anything where they've been like, I want to create something amazing. I want to create something cool. I want to take a piece of myself and put it out and like take it out and just give it there for people to just see and like to make myself feel better. And I have such like adverse reactions to bands that don't do that, but it's really hard for people around me to understand what I'm actually talking about. But I see it quite a lot. And then it's also, in the same breath, it's also really hard for people that I know to understand what I see in some bands that they don't like. And they're like, what did you see there? They weren't very good. And I'm like, but they may not have been great musicians, but they cared and they really loved what they were doing. And you could tell that it came from their heart. And that's like what I look for, and that's what's important to me in all music, in all art, actually, just in anything. It's like it can be a childish scribble and it can have more meaning than something someone spent £1 million on. I think it's really odd, because when I first started, it was like that whole teenage naivety of like, oh, isn't this cool, Dad? And then he'd be like, no, I've heard like 50 songs like that. And then I'd be like, oh, cool. But like, I think as I've gotten older and I've actually been involved in the industry and I've done a ton of gigs and, I've done all this stuff, it's like, it's really easy to notice when someone isn't passionate about what they're doing. And to me, it makes me feel kind of sad, because I'm like, well, why are you doing it? Like, if you're not passionate enough about it, like, people always talk about our energy on stage and all of that stuff, and like how energetic we are, and oh my god, even if there's 5 people there, it's like, you go nuts and stuff. And it's like, because we enjoy doing it. And at the end of the day, we're there to entertain people. We're there, even if there's like 2 people there, we're going to scream at them and tell them to dance and tell them to do anything we'd do in a 50-person, 100-person venue. Because there's no difference. You're a performer, you're performing. Whereas I've seen bands turn up to venues and there'd be 5 people there, and you can tell that they're like, I don't want to do that. And it's like, they'll just stare at their shoes and all of that stuff. And I think it is also like, there's also Dad's like very hostile opinion of certain bands and performers. But I think it's also because of the whole father-son thing, to tie it all back in, Leigh, like themes and scripts and storytelling, is that, like, because we are father and son, when we started, we were seen as a gimmick. Like, gigs that metal bands that get straight off the bat, or rap groups or solo artists that get straight off the bat, we had to work for. Like, we started doing family-friendly sets, which were awesome, but it'd lead to, like, doing 3 gigs in, like, a weekend that would be, like, outside of a shop, in, like, a corner shop. Like, once we did inside a, what was it, Dev? Citizens Advice Bureau, like, a place where people go for help with money and stuff.
Yeah. And we did one there, and those were, like, amazing gigs. I love them. But all of the things that I think people take for granted in the gigging sense, we never had. Like, we had to work for that. So when we got that stuff, it was like, okay, now time to prove ourselves. And there still is that element of that where it's like, oh yeah, they're just father and son. They don't have guitars. They don't have drums. You know, how are they going to be heavier? How are they going to like be with a metal band or with rappers or whatever? And I think that's where it comes from a lot for me, where I'm like, yeah, but you, A, haven't seen us, B, there have been bands where it's been like instant, I wouldn't say hostility, but instant gatekeeping, instant sort of weirdness, like we've been pushed out of events and pushed down on shows, and you know, there's been all this weird stuff simply because it's a father and a son. And I think people instantly view that as like this very gimmicky, we're going to get on stage and do like one song, like my mum wanted us to, but do like one song and it be like, you know, oh, isn't it cute?
Yeah, and people, we get viewed in a very disrespectful way.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, you don't need to shake your head, I like it. It makes me angry, it makes me really pissed off, and it makes me want to go and fucking destroy them, because, that's how I view it. It's like, when you're on stage, it's not just, because it's letting out everything that's inside, and it's like an analogy for our lives. Like, our entire lives we've been held out. People have looked down on us and been like, oh, you're weird, you're not this, you're not that, you're all this. And I see it as, it's just our lives just being reflected on stage. And so I'm taking that opportunity on stage to do the things that I want to do in real life and fucking scream at people and say I'm fucking, just because I'm fucking different doesn't mean that I'm less than you. And we take that kind of message to the stage. And it's very, very rare that like a band has the energy that we have. And I know it sounds big-headed again, but it's true. Like, you see people act on stage like they're giving all their energy, but it's a performance. It's like they are not hurting themselves. They're not damaging themselves. They're comfortably and calmly headbanging in a nice way and stuff. Like, when we get off stage, I've got injuries and stuff to this day that like are not going to heal, and they're not going to heal, and I'm not going to stop because I've got these injuries, because the whole point of this is to destroy myself for my art and show the rest of the world what art should actually be, because we're living in a fake fucking society. I'm sorry, Leigh, I'm going off on one. But it just fucking pisses me off, really pisses me off. Sorry.
Yeah, like...
Oh, calm down.
Dad, calm down. No, but it is, it's like, it should be genuine.
Yeah, and that's what makes me so angry. It's real. Where's the realness gone? It's because it's all image now, and it's not real anymore.
Yeah.
And but you find these moments of real bands, and they're also what I find with that is that when you find the real bands, they actually become your real friends as well, and they are people you can trust and talk to and be like, yeah, is it okay, blah blah blah, and there's none of this stupid way of talking to each other where everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm only doing this for this reason and stuff. And it, like, when you find the real band, you create real connections and you find real friendships. But it's like, I don't know, it's like we're breeding narcissists. Like, that's what's going on right now. And so it's like, it's a battle to just fucking crush them and destroy their lives and their hopes and their dreams because they're not real. Yeah.
I like how this whole podcast started. Like, isn't it like really lovely to see a father and a son working together?
Yeah, I know, but it's like, that's what's behind everything, Callum. It's anger.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's like, it's drive. And it's because we have been held out for so long. Not just like in musically, like individually. Callum's had a really hard time because he's dyslexic. And me with my autism and my addictions and stuff. And Callum was going down a similar road. And so it's created this like boiling pot of like just fucking stuff. Yeah, and that's where the writing comes from. So it all comes from this core of hatred, anger, self-doubt, which is then translated into art and writing and stuff, and then it goes to a performance, and so it's all connected. And then we do the performance, we feel better, and the pot doesn't stop boiling. You have to keep working to keep emptying it, and that's kind of our message as well. Like, people should create art, anything, sculpture, drawing, the dance, because it does help with the subconscious, and it helps with everything that's going on in your head.
And I think the thing to me,
Callum, Yeah, I'm always waiting as well for someone to actually say something. Everyone's too terrified to say stuff. They keep saying shit behind our backs, and I know that they're
because
saying
you get on stage and you just...
I know, Callum. I know I fucking do. And I'm waiting for someone to fucking do it back. And I hope that day won't come. I fucking destroy them.
Callum doesn't understand. No, I fucking get this. I fucking get this. I'm gonna be 50 in a couple weeks. I moved from, let's just calm everything down to, I wish a motherfucker would.
Yeah.
Please. It's right here. Just somebody. I get it. Because because you got to sit at a simmer all the time, because you're just always cooking, like you're just kind of, and then eventually it's gonna fucking blow, and you're just waiting because you want it to happen at the right time and not the wrong time, because you didn't get it out, and then Callum pisses you off and you blow up at him instead of getting it out on stage. So no, Matthew, I feel it in my heart. I've been walking around like just sizing people up. Like, man, we have those days where you're like, I'm a fucking hit. I'm gonna punch somebody in the fucking throat today. Yeah. I'm only going to use drive-thrus because I do not want to go to fucking jail today. Yeah. Like, I totally get that. So no, man, you got to let it out. And any good artist feels exactly what you're feeling, because anyone that doesn't have that on stage, I don't want to go fucking see anyways.
I know. I find that really, really frustrating about what's going on in metal right now. Because I hate gatekeeping. I really, really hate gatekeeping. But there is one thing that I won't budge on, and that's that punk metal, the core of that should be anger. It should be energy and anger. And it's like, you're getting so much stuff where it's not the core, and it's like, like you can write a funny song that's full of energy. It doesn't need to be just anger, but it's like the energy's disappeared. There is no energy there, and you can't feel it, and so... Yeah, there's something really weird going on. It's like people are like, oh, I want to be like that. And then they just go and do it. And it's like, but where's the feeling? Where's all the stuff that's meant to be behind it as well? So,
I think also on like a technical, like a very musical technical point, is the screaming. Like, it's about technique now. And you can see when it's technique compared to what we do, which is actually scream.
Yeah, we hurt ourselves.
Yeah, that's how I'd like scream at him if I was well pissed off. And
it's real, like, it's like actually pissed off screaming, like.
Yeah, there's not like, oh, like, what was it? It like stuck in my head, and it was like this guy from his death metal band, and it just popped up on like Instagram when I was scrolling, and he was like, this is how I do this heavy gig, and it cut to the footage, and this is how I wake up the next day and I can still talk. And like in my head I was like, well, you didn't do a good gig.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's really weird, like that. Because like I remember Slipknot when they were on tour. Corey couldn't talk on that first tour. He had to save his voice so much because of the effort that he was putting in, and it's just like that. That's what. Oh yeah, Slipknot's first album was just astounding. The energy and the anger on that is just like insane, and it's like that's always been an inspiration to us. Like just the relentless intensity of it, and it's like and people. I understand people don't want to hurt their voices, but also there's like going too far where it's like there's nothing there anymore, and it's like it's more about what you look like, what you want to post on social media and stuff. I don't know. I'm just trying to piss off every single band in the fucking world, Callum. Should we take on rappers next? So then they come after us too, and then jazz musicians, because I don't know what we do with jazz musicians.
But it's that thing where I think like. Because what's really weird is like it started off like FMA plus 12 gauges, like gigs being family friendly. Then we kind of got in with rap a bit, and we did some rap gigs. And then in the last 3 years, we've done like so much metal stuff. Like there's kind of no, we haven't really stepped out of metal, have we? In like however long. But it's that thing of where in all of it there was energy, like in every single one. And one thing I had to learn through gigging, and because it's my dad by my side, and he's older than me, and he's got like all these like, injuries that he's got, like, and then there were some gigs where he'd be moving more than me and he'd be sweating more than me, because I think it's that you get very comfortable just being like, right, I'm on stage, but I'm not going to move. I'm on stage, I'm not really going to do anything. And it's like taken me ages to consciously be like, no, you move all the time. You do stuff all the time. And I think it's that weird thing where I can see some metal bands where I'm like, you're not even sweating. after you get off stage. You're not even like, it doesn't seem like you're tired. Whereas we get off stage sometimes and it's like we've been hit by a truck. We're like, I can't move. I'm just going to sit here for a bit. Like, we did one gig during the heat wave in England last year, and that was horrific. Like, I almost passed out. He almost passed out. Our DJ went lightheaded at one point because he got the crowd to jump, went back to the decks and saw double of everything. Like, I had like a heart palpitation before we even went on stage. And in my head, even though like you describe that to people and it's like, God, why would you do that? Why didn't you just take it easy? Da, 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 da. In my head, I'm like, yeah, but I gave people an experience. I gave people, you know, an actual thing and an experience and like entertain people. And it's like I've slowly over the years come round to my dad's way of thinking where it's like, I don't care if I don't look cool. If I'm dripping in sweat and I'm damaged, I did a good thing. And it's a very weird way of saying that, but my dad taught me that. But yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just about letting things out. And that's what it all comes down to, just letting things out. And it just feels like people aren't letting things out. But I need to also say, we've seen loads of people who have put tons and tons of effort and passion in on stage. It's just we've played so many gigs, but it's like the majority of people it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, like Callum said, the guy talking about this is how I scream, but I can wake up and be fine the next day. Like, art is a performance, and I get that, but it shouldn't be performative. Like, you should mean what you're doing. It should be coming from in here, not here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's going to get to a point, everybody's going to have moments like that. I get it. It's fucking, this shit's hard, especially if you really mean it. You know, but like, yeah, I mean, I, like you said, I do. I want to know that they mean it on stage, and you can tell, like you Matthew say, you can tell it's not too hard to see, especially if you're any part of this industry, and whether you're a musician or even just a diehard fan. It's not hard to see when somebody's just being performative and they don't mean any of it. They're just doing it because they figure this is what people want to see. So I 100% get that. Yeah, because I mean, I want my art to mean something. I mean, even bubblegum pop. Like you said, it feels something. There's feeling behind it still. It might just be happy, bubbly, but that's still something. It's better than looking like someone just up there. It just feels monotone, even if it's not. You know, you're just like, this isn't like, do they have a bad day? Are they mad at the crowd? Who are they pissed off at? 'Cause this isn't what I paid for. Yeah.
So it's just weird. But we're also really heavily influenced by wrestling, Japanese wrestling. Like in Japan, they're just idiots. Like we are on stage, we're just like beating the crap out of each other and like always doing it. Also influenced by like Japanese wrestling. And hello, that's Hydra. She's very old at the minute.
Look at the dog.
Callum's screen. We take real influence from that, because if you watch Japanese wrestling, it's all about the performance. It's not about silliness. Well, for a lot of it. But yeah, and it builds and it builds and it builds to a crescendo, and it's like absolutely amazing to watch. And at the end of it, you see the performers, and they have absolutely put every single ounce of energy that they could into what they were doing. And so that feeling of like, oh my God, I can't believe that they managed to do that, and they're still going. We try and capture that in our live shows as well. So we're always pushing as hard at the beginning as we are at the end, and so there's never any let up. But yeah, I don't want to sound too. I just feel like we're being big-headed now, Karen. Yeah, I feel we are. But it doesn't matter. Just someone should come and take me on.
It's not ego if you're really that good. Just remember that. It's not ego.
I know, but that's a good point. But yeah, the only reason that I feel that we are good is because there's loads of my life where I'm not good. And so my disability, my autism has taken away a lot of my life, my skills, like skill points in a video game, and it took them away from a massive part, but it put it all into creativity and all this other stuff. And so the things that I am good at, I am very proud of. I can't talk to people, I can't spend time with people very much, I can't do all these normal things that normal people can do, but I can make things, I can perform, and I know I'm good at that.
And I've always said it, that I find it very weird. I don't know if it's just an English thing or if it's a worldwide, like, music industry thing, is that there's always this thing of be humble about what you make and what you do, and don't go up to people and say, yeah, I'm the best thing since sliced bread or something like that, because then people are like, whoa, chill out, sliced bread will be offended. But it's that whole thing, and when I think about it, I'm like, but as an occupation, as a job, in any other job, like if you were to go to a doctor or a surgeon and they turned around and said, I'm kind of a good surgeon, I enjoy surgery, but I know 5 people who are better at surgery than I am, you wouldn't go again. You'd be like, can I get someone else, please? And it's a really weird thing. It's like for painting, for anything. I feel like people going out there and saying, I enjoy painting and I am good at painting, there's always people who are like, whoa, chill out. And I think you should be proud of what you do, really.
No.
If you want someone to take you on.
Take me on, Callum.
Yeah. Callum, I got to say, that's the best fucking explanation I've ever heard. I'm going to quote that a lot. I'm actually going to cut that into a clip. Man, I've never heard it phrased like that. That was really cool, because you're right. It is an occupation, and you should be proud of what you do. And having ego is fucking necessary. Honestly, if you don't have ego, you're never going to accomplish anything. That's in any field. That doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a musician, or a cashier, or a mechanic. It doesn't matter. If you don't have some ego, you're never going to build confidence. And hey, sometimes a big ego, a big head, and overconfident is okay. It's good because it gets you over those slumps of when you're feeling like shit too. But phrasing it like that, man, that's really cool. I like that. Thank you.
Oh, cheers. No worries, man. But I think people misconstrue having an ego with not being nice, and being humble with not being proud. And that's really weird. And it's I wish it had just stopped, because you should have an ego, because if you've spent hours or years or however long making or creating something, you should have an ego and you should be proud of it. But that doesn't mean that you then go, well, that means that I am better than this person, X person. I've looked at you on stage, and kind of using your...
Are you talking about me now, Callum?
Yeah, exactly like my dad just did. No, but using your ego to crush someone else's...
Yeah, I will crush him, Callum.
Jesus. Inspirational, Dad. No, but it's that thing of you should have an ego and you should be proud of it. And if that comes in the form of being angry at other bands or something, do it. But at the end of the day, it's you shouldn't use your ego to me, it's very odd. It's I think people should have an ego, but your ego should not be founded on social media numbers or on these metrics that don't really matter, because Instagram could shut down tomorrow, or TikTok could be wiped off the face of the planet, and then what have you got? And I don't think you should use an ego built like that to then be a dickhead to people. You shouldn't be oh, I've got however many followers, I'm not even going to talk to you because you've got 200. Oh, I'm not even going to do this. Whereas if it's my dad just did, where it's I am annoyed with how you're performing because I put all of this into it and you're not doing that, and people like you, or you specifically, have kept us out of opportunities. It's a massive difference having an ego and being proud to using an ego to keep people out of opportunities. There we go. That is my summary. That was my TED Talk. Thank you.
Okay, good work, Alan. Proud of you.
Thank you.
So have to, though. I agree with Matthew a little, and I did. Yes, you shouldn't use your ego to tear down other people most of the time. Yeah. There is always, because there's some assholes out there that deserve it. Yeah. So especially nowadays, I could name far more people than I wish I could, but yeah, sometimes you gotta let it out on stage, and yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, ego it's good, it can be bad, but it's also it's easy to see the difference. Usually the people that have overinflated egos are usually, for starters, are usually assholes and not nearly as talented as they think they are. Yeah. And people that can have just as big an ego and don't come off like assholes because they're actually good people and they deserve the ego. Like, I've met people that have flat out been like, no, I'm fucking good at what I do. And I'm like, oh, really? And they're like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. And if, like Cal said, if they're like, yeah, I'm not very good at what I do, I probably wouldn't continue the conversation to find out if they were right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that I think is a good way of like distinguishing it. Is there's self-confidence and then there's being confident in yourself and your abilities and everything that you can do, and then there's being overly confident, and that's the distinction I see. Where there's people who I'm like, you don't deserve to be that confident. Where did you get that from? Like, was that just given to you at some point? And then there's other people where I'm like, I wish you were more confident because you are that good.
Yeah.
And that's like what I find so weird about music and like creativity, because you get it with like screenwriting and everything like that. Like anything creative, you get the people who are like, you don't deserve to be that confident. And then you get the other lane of people where it's like, Jesus, like, just show more people that story, like, release that song, do that thing. And it's so weird that, like, I feel like there's no real middle ground anymore. From what I've seen, there's no people who are like, oh, yeah, I'm getting more confident.
Yeah, so we try and always encourage everyone, no matter your skill level, to create. And what? Karen, yeah.
It's just how you went. Oh, I wish a motherfucker would. Oh God, I want someone to challenge me. And it's really important that we encourage everyone.
No. Because there's a different set of people. There's the people who are doing the performative shit, who piss me off, and who won't say a thing to me, but will say it behind my back. And then there's the people who are trying, and they're really scared of sharing this stuff. And they're the people that I'm talking about right now. Like, we always try and encourage everyone to create, no matter your skill level and stuff. And we always encourage people to contact us if they want feedback. And we'll always give you honest, very genuine, critical feedback, not just stupid, oh, it's shit stuff. We'll always point out what's wrong. And so we've always made it a point that we are always open for people to approach us with their whatever their creations are. And we'll always try and make time to check them and give you some feedback and whatever, It's really, really important because the way society is at the moment, what the fuck is the word, Callum? Discourages. It discourages people from doing that, and without being able to learn and test and try, you're never going to get better. So we think that's really important. Yeah.
Right, guys. So, what do you guys got coming up? This will be coming out like end of April. So, what do you guys got coming up this year?
No idea. We'll see. We might still be working on the song by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping to tour Japan and Korea at the end of the year. We might be doing a mini tour in October. We're hoping to finish the last part of our album.
Yeah.
And we've also got other projects that we're working on. But, like, everything's taking so long at the minute that, like, we can't say a very definite thing. It's really weird. It's really annoying and it's really frustrating. We've got music video. Oh, we'll have it. Oh, no, it will be out by then. Fuck. Don't know.
What I would say is follow our social media and, there will be updates there.
Yeah.
Of anything we've got.
Yeah, and we're always open to any projects, no matter what they are.
Yeah, you guys, well, that's a nice thing because you guys don't have a genre. You don't have something that you can label yourself with, and that allows you to work with so many different type of musicians and artists. It's really cool. I love getting to see that because then you're getting especially as a marketing guy, I love especially when my clients get to work with, they're working with a trap metal artist, they're working with a folk artist, they're working, it's a hip hop artist, and you guys just kind of flow between all of this. And then now it might be someone that's only got, like you said, it sucks, but metrics of they got 1,000 followers, but that's 1,000 people that had no fucking clue who you were because it's a different genre of music, and you guys being able to move between them like that is so cool. And then you get to see different variations of you as well. And then plus that helps when you've got songs where you're like, I really like this song, but it doesn't fit with anything else we're doing. Where can we put this? Who could we work with? And it gives you a whole nother outlet. So, man, kudos to you guys. Every step you take is just, it's really fun to watch, and it's really cool to watch. It's educational. Absolutely. And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean like, you know, like, oh, this is a case study. No, it's fun to watch you guys, and I appreciate the hell out of you. So thank you guys for coming on.
No, thank you for having us on. I'm sorry it went for so long.
Oh, no, that's okay. All right. So, everybody, thank you, Matthew and Callum. Please do us the like, subscribe, and share. Give me some feedback, what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. And as always, and most importantly, have fun and be nice to each other. Because if you're not, there's no fucking point. And we will see you next time.